Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of Pull Yourself to Pieces, the podcast.
You
I
say
am,
that
yeah,
with I don't know, with such
what?
like
Malice,
yeah,
disgust,
sure,
boredom,
exactly.
all the
Disgust.
above.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Exactly.
hmm I don't know how you do it. You talk me into this every week.
It's always me talking you into it, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Because
Everyone, anyone who
I had
knows
what?
probably knows it's really the opposite. You
Yeah,
drag me
yeah.
back in every time,
Exactly right. I
like
have
the
to drag
mafia.
you
Every
back
time I
in.
think I'm out, they bring me
I
back in
drag you
again.
back in. Yeah. 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 You're Al Pacino, and I'm the mob. You're Michael Corleone, and I am the mafia.
Oh, great.
I drag you back in.
Uh, Here we go. Episode
So,
53.
yeah, 53
Wow,
times we've done this. Yeah.
that's right. Well, we actually did 54, but remember that one not too long ago
Yes.
got
Yeah, the
screwed up. So
misfire.
yeah,
We'll call it the misfire episode.
yeah, I still think it'd be hilarious just to play my audio.
Yeah. We should try that. You should just run like just 5 minutes of that. And we'll comment on your audio at the same time. If you can do that, I don't know. But you are a whiz at this. I just try and
Well,
write funny stuff.
I'm
Without you
trying to
this would yeah.
go ahead. I won't cut.
Without you this would not be on the air. That's all I can say.
That's true,
Yep.
right? It would. I don't know what you would do.
I could still write funny stuff, but there's no way I could get it on the air. So, without you, there is no podcast.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
What it would be like if this was a live show.
It is a live show. Think about it. You and I seldom do second takes.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it's pretty much whatever it is what we're going to get. Right.
That's it. We don't
Right.
really care. That's the problem. We don't really care. It's free
Yeah, I don't
entertainment.
know if a lot of
What?
and if any of our handful of listeners,
Yeah.
the last show didn't do that well, but we've had some pretty good you know downloads and response for a while.
Yeah.
But we just this last episode, it could be just timing, the time
Yeah.
of the year or whatever. People,
Sure.
found something. They had way more important things to do. That taxes,
Or
family stuff, walk the dog. Really
going
important.
outside. Yeah, or
Right,
just
exactly.
going outside. Right. Because the
Right.
weather's getting nicer. Yeah.
Right. But I don't
Right.
think a lot of people would have any clue that a lot of our stuff is not edited.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there has to be some editing involved when we do like the Christmas show. Or we've done like some other special shows like that.
Right.
But a lot of that is not even written. It's just we go in with it's kind of this half
An idea.
improv thing, and we go
Right.
with it. An idea.
We go
Right.
right. We go in with an idea and we push the narrative along, but most times our guests are
Right.
able to move it along themselves and we just respond to what they say, which is actually pretty easy when you come to think of it.
It must have been really hard for the old time radio stuff where they would do these live broadcasts that weren't just like talk. They were like
Scripted.
scripted, and there's sound effects and there's music. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
to pull it off in one shot,
Right. And think about
things
doing
like Saturday Night Live make it look easy. They really do. I know they
well, you
rehearse
got
all week and they got to do
right.
that one show, but to do live stuff,
Right.
to do that's something along. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna degrade or ever put down drama,
Right.
but I think comedy's harder. Whether it's
Oh, I think so
staged
too.
or in a play, a comedy musical, drama is just as hard. Yeah, but I actually, it's all hard. It's all hard to do that kind of like live performance, whether it's on the radio or if it's in front of people on a stage. But I
Yeah.
think comedy is even harder because there's more timing involved with comedy than there is with drama.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Drama's allowed to have those beats and allowed to have those moments.
Yeah.
Comedy, everything's timing, everything.
Yeah.
You know?
And imagine doing a daily show. You and I do a weekly show, and
Right.
sometimes,
Right.
and at some point back then, it was stressful. Imagine doing a daily show.
I just was last night. It's funny. Last night I was thinking about all the shows we used to do, the early shows that we did. I wish people would go back and listen to the early shows. There's so much more production. There was so much more segments that we did, it was a lot more. There was a lot
Humor.
more. Yeah,
Humor.
yeah.
It's a lot more humor.
You know,
Yeah, I think
our
it,
show changed. We never got a response from anybody whether or not we're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. The numbers showed that we actually improved every time we kind of redesigned or reinvented the show.
yeah.
And but I couldn't help but think about there was so many segments that we had built when we first were going to do the show. We had like 30 something ideas for different segments, so many that we couldn't have put them all into one show. We'd
Right.
pick and choose, which ones we were going to do. And
Right.
we'd go along with it, and then after a couple of weeks, we hadn't done one of that segments in a while, so we'd do it again. That's
Right.
kind of how it was. It
Yeah.
wasn't planned.
Well,
And
we also we kept the ones that we felt worked, and we got rid of the ones that were weak and not funny. So
just by our own opinion, because again, we didn't get a response from anybody.
right.
I have only just recently told you about that response that we got from somebody.
Yes.
And
Kara.
Kara, yeah, and
Kara. Yeah.
I'm glad we got at least one listener who had something to say, whether it's
Somebody
negative or
got-
positive.
Yeah, somebody was vocal, which we like. We'd
Right.
like some more feedback. If you like the show,
Let
if
us
you hate
know,
the
Kara.
show,
Come on the show. Tell us your story. Everyone has a story.
give us ideas for segments, something that you'd like to hear that you've never heard before. We'll experiment. We'll give it a shot. Look,
Right.
we would love some ideas.
Because we don't have any. No.
We don't have any. No, I'm all out.
Although last episode we said that we would probably be coming to this episode around this time of the month, the beginning
Yeah.
of March, and we're just one day after your birthday. So happy birthday!
Thank you. Yes, one day after my birthday.
That's right, 95, right? Aren't you? You look great.
Yeah, I'm 95. I look very good for my age. Yeah, it's all that Botox and wrinkle cream. Yeah,
You got to put that on your face, though. You can't put the wrinkle cream on your butt.
yeah.
No.
Actually, there's a portrait of me that's aging in my attic, and the deal is I will look forever young, but my portrait ages. So
Who was that again? Who was that?
yeah, Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So 65. Wow.
Yeah, 65. And I say those numbers, and my brain wants to short circuit because it doesn't make any sense.
Right. Right. You and I have talked about this probably on the air before, that how
Yeah.
mentally, we both feel way, way, way younger than what our ages are
In our heads. Yeah.
in our heads. Right. You
Right.
know, if we could get rid of mirrors, then we would really have, everything
Yeah.
going for us. But unfortunately,
Well,
you got to have a mirror in
see-
the bathroom. Can you imagine having no mirror in the bathroom? I mean, is
That's-
any
that's-
room you can get rid of
well,
it, but imagine no
that's
mirror in the
mis-
bathroom.
that's Mr. Trump. He has no mirrors. Mr. Trump has no mirrors in any one of his properties. No, none whatsoever.
Doesn't even have a rear view mirror.
No. And see, I'm smart enough to get rid of all the gray that I have by not having a beard and not having any hair. See? That's why I look
Oh,
so
you got
young.
rid of the goatee thing too?
Yeah, the goatee is gone. No more beard, no more goatee.
I'm trying to think when the last time I saw you. I didn't know that. I didn't know you got rid of
Yeah,
that.
that was Christmas. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, it's all gone. So I look like a
You
little
like a human
child.
penis.
What?
Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
I can't believe
I do. A human penis. Yep. with eyes and one that talks. So that's a scary thought.
Well, I think they
What?
all do. They just they subconsciously talk to us and
Yeah. Well,
control us.
they tell lots of men what to do.
But they tell lots of men what to do. Yeah.
And they succumb to it. They'll go, okay, tell me what else to do.
I can't imagine any woman who'd want to be a man. I don't know. Well, that's a whole different discussion.
Well, right off the bat, you're going to have to drop a lot of IQ points. You're going to have to get used to being told what to do by this appendage that hangs between your legs,
Right.
and occasionally gets caught in your underwear, and then wow, that
And
hurts like hell.
whether you're that type or not, you have to deal with the history of men thinking that we are greater than women forever.
Right,
And,
which we are not, by the way.
oh, if
as far
anything,
as-
yeah, women
as far as I'm
are the
concerned.
stronger and definitely the smarter.
I've said it. I'll say it again. I think
Of the
women should
species.
take over. They should
women
just
women
take
will
over
take
this-
over one day, and
I
and-
hope
and
so.
They should. It can't come soon enough. It can't come.
It
soon
can't
enough.
come soon enough. Yeah, that's right.
I'm hoping we're going to get a female president.
That would be nice.
You think Biden should run again?
I think Mr. Biden is doing a hell of a job,
For
but
his age,
I
for his
think
age,
he
yes,
I
but
think he needs to retire after this run. I think
yes,
I
yes,
think
agree.
here's what I think. I think the specter of an old white guy at the helm turns a lot of people off.
Agree.
And and I wouldn't mind somebody who is non-religious. I wouldn't mind somebody of color. I wouldn't mind somebody indigenous. I wouldn't mind somebody gay. I wouldn't mind somebody younger and progressive. Those things those things are superficial. What matters is, can you do the job, and can you do it well, and can you do it fairly, so that across the board everybody is treated the same.
Well,
No,
what
the-
what what
you know,
what requirement is there to make you be able to do the job?
you have to have humanity. You have to have empathy and sympathy, and deep down inside, you have to be a good person. You can't
Sure,
be the type of
sure.
person that holds grudges, or is spoiled, or has his whole life handed to him on a platter.
Yeah, no.
That's the difference between
Yeah,
who we have now and who we had then.
right. No, I agree. Agree.
Anyway, so that's my rant for the day.
Okay.
So,
All right.
so I don't have any really good birthday stories,
Oh,
because
all right. So moving
nothing
on.
so nothing really interesting happened on my birthday.
You know, that's you kind of almost don't want that to happen. Unless it's something really good. I mean, you don't want anything really bad to happen on your birthday. Or,
Yeah.
I knew a guy at work 20 something years ago. His birthday was September 11th. And man,
Oh,
I felt so bad. I felt so
yeah.
bad for him.
Right. How do you celebrate happy
Right,
times
exactly.
on
I
that
felt
day?
so bad for him after what happened. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, every year he's going to be reminded about this.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Or imagine somebody who has like a name of like the next, um,
Serial
mass
killer.
shooter.
Yeah. Ted Bundy. Hi, my
Right,
name's
exactly.
Ted Bundy.
Yeah, right. Someone like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Theater. My name's Ted Kaczynski. Oh Jesus, go away.
See, this leads me into a
Uh oh.
discussion
A
about
segue.
legacy.
Segue.
It was perfectly. I didn't even plan it, and it was like perfectly right there.
Did you say legacy?
Legacy? A
Okay.
legacy. See your
Okay.
legs.
All
Legacy.
right. Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
legacy.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
want. I think you want your life to go as smooth as possible, and you don't want to have.
Well, we all do.
Right. You don't want to be remembered for something really bad, or it's got to be horrible for. I mean, if you're the brother or parent or a child of someone who did
Yeah.
something terrible, and you're gonna
Oh
have to,
yeah.
you have to stick with that,
Yeah. There's
know?
no erasing that. Right.
Or even
There's
or
no.
even or even if it's not something that they did terrible, but just maybe they had a certain kind of life. For example, there's a new show that's coming up on Amazon Prime, called Daisy Jones and the Six. And it's starring Elvis Presley's granddaughter, who
Okay.
herself, apparently has acting and musical talent, and she's always gonna have, this
Stigma.
history,
Yeah.
of her mom, who just sadly
Re-
just recently
Yes.
died, and her
Right.
grandfather, who
Yeah.
killed himself. It's like
Yeah.
Jesus, I feel so bad for her,
Yeah. That's a heavy torch to carry. I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So your
So
legacy, whatever your
yeah.
legacy is going to be, you want it to be hopefully, I don't know, for lack of a better term, I guess, like just clean, positive, lasting.
Well, my legacy is more in the vein of um of things, and when I say things, I mean the fact that I was in the furniture manufacturing business for 15 years in New York when I lived in New York,
Right.
and built some one of a kind, incredible looking pieces of furniture for the rich people, by the way, people that could afford to spend
Right.
thousands of dollars on custom
Right.
furniture. I built some pretty amazing pieces. So I'm sure some of those pieces are still very alive and well in people's homes.
Mhm.
And so I have that legacy.
Right. Right.
Then I have the legacy
Yeah,
of
but if your name isn't on it, like, if it doesn't say,
oh,
Renoir
no.
on there, or
No,
or it doesn't say Raywa.
there's no plaque that says, built by
Right,
Ray right, no. There's
right.
no plaque.
It's only you knowing it, and
It's all
sadly,
oh,
I've said this to you. I just recently, you and I were talking about this, and I was talking about, you know, leaving behind whatever we leave behind, and, you said, "Yeah, I don't wanna be forgotten," and I'm like, "I hate to say it, unless you're really famous, we're all gonna be forgotten."
eventually,
Sadly,
yeah.
the stories that our grandparents told down to our parents, or we tell down to us, and then we tell down to our children, the stories start to get less remembered, the detail they were. They get less translated over. They're not, and if you tell the stories to your own children and they didn't even know any of those relatives, they may not even remember it or even think to carry it
Right.
on. So
It's wasted.
I just feel like
It's a
every 30 to 50 years, we just we're all just dropping off the map. The average people are just dropping off the register.
yeah,
Yeah, you can
average
look up
people
and you can find us in some records, you'll be able to find it. But as far
yeah,
as having some kind of lasting
yeah,
impression,
yeah.
no, it's just
Well
unless you're,
here's something you can do. Here's something you could do. You can make up a Wikipedia page for me. How's that?
ah,
And
a
if you
Wikipedia
want
page
yeah, and if you want, just make stuff up. I mean,
with all
isn't
the
that
other
what people
billion
do anyway?
Wikipedia pages, so it's lost in there too. But yeah, I could do
Right.
that.
Yeah,
Oh, just make up a fake.
make up a yeah, I mean,
Oh, that's
you
actually
could
pretty funny.
you could embellish. I mean, that would be hysterical, wouldn't it? That would be something that I would think would be funny. A Wikipedia page talking about how, I was part of the first rocket ship to the moon and how I did, I mean, you could just
You
go
were the
on and
4th
on.
astronaut stowaway, no one
I
knew
was
it.
the fifth Beatle. I mean, you can go
Right,
on and
right.
on
He
and
was only like
on.
5 years old. No, but he still was.
Yeah.
That was him, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My legacy is again with your help, my compilation book of short stories, my words, so to speak. And
Well, in this
yeah,
show, I mean, there's 50
and
something
this
episodes of the show, and if as long as, you know, um, wherever we have it hosted, or if something happens eventually to both of us and some relative of down the line can keep it up there somewhere, it could still actually
yeah,
be
yeah,
accessible.
yeah, yeah,
Why anybody
and
would wanna listen to us after,
right,
20, 30 years, I don't know, but still.
right, right. People will sit there listen to who are these idiots back then talking about legacy and furniture. Yeah.
Legacy and
And
furniture.
so you had a question about cabinets.
Oh, yeah, speaking of furniture, yeah. Um, I the house I'm in, we've been, in for 20, oh, wow, it's gonna be 24 years, wow. And they had installed cabinets in here. They had done, like, I think this was a rental house, so they cleared out a lot of different things, cleared out the bathrooms, cleared out the kitchen, and they just threw in whatever, Home Depot, the cheapest stuff they could, which
Yeah,
didn't make any sense to me because,
they're called contractor grade.
well, they picked white.
That
And I
yeah,
and
well,
I have a feeling at the time it was just a little bit more money, and they could have gone with wood cabinets, right?
wood cabinets are about 4 times what contractor grade cabinets
Maybe
cost.
now, I know back then, I remember looking at possibly changing certain things, and I remember the prices wasn't like 4 times,
Yeah,
all right?
now it is.
No, that's
Now it is.
crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
and as somebody who used to make furniture and made kitchen cabinets, I can tell you that they're not made the same way as they were 40 years ago.
Yeah, that's sad.
Everything is made by machine now, and
Oh,
those
it wasn't made
skills
by machine then?
no, no,
Oh, really?
everything was made by hand. You had a guy that all he did was he was on the saw all day, and all he did was cut parts.
Wow.
Meaning he cut tops and bottoms and returns and fascia and backs, and he would cut 10 cabinets and line them up on a dolly and wheel them over to your bench, and then you would take them off there one by one and assemble those cabinets and then pass them off to the next guy who was whatever the next step would have been, and then eventually packed up and shipped out.
Now this is
And
now this is now this is you're saying cabinetry that was meant to be just sort of standard? Like, in
well,
other words, like, I'm bringing up about the kitchen here is that, I would love to redo this kitchen, and then I look at them like, well, how did they get those things to fit just right? And then I start taking measurements, and then I
Yeah.
start seeing similarities in sizes. So
Yes, right. There cabinets are not made the same way as they were back then. Back then, sometimes a cabinet would be 5 feet wide and integrated. So you'd have three cabinets all kind of connected together by the face of the cabinet.
oh,
Nowadays, everything is modular.
modular.
Everything is
Ah,
modular. So you have a
okay.
9-inch cabinet, you've got a 12-inch cabinet, a 15-inch cabinet, an 18-inch cabinet, a 24-inch cabinet, a 30, a 33, a 36, and
All
then
standard sizes. So even
well,
so if someone wants a custom kitchen, are they
yeah,
really getting a custom kitchen?
that depends. If you've got the money to afford to go to a cabinet shop and say, "I want total custom cabinets built to my
My
specifications
specifications.
to fit my
Right, he
kitchen
might
the
want
way
like
I
I need
want
a
it."
17-inch one. So it's like, okay, that's
Yeah,
gonna have to
I
be
mean,
right.
exactly. I mean, you can have anything built custom if you go to the right place, but you have to realize that those places are far and few in between now.
Oh,
Cabinet making is a dying trade because nowadays there are so many cabinets just built by robots in the Carolinas, specifically North Carolina,
oh,
and very very little human touch is used to make these cabinets. A lot of it is so automated now that humans aren't even
right.
involved.
So if it's getting harder and harder to get custom cabinets, and
Yeah.
we're all using these standard sizes,
Yep.
it must you got to be really good with math to get things to work out in an area, right?
Oh, oh yeah.
And then I know for a fact. I mean, even if new houses, but I've got a 50-year-old house here that
Right.
there's no way those walls are straight. So how the hell?
Hard to say. You can't assume that they're not straight until you stick a level on each wall. You're not going to know if those walls are straight, and then you have to hope that those walls are actually at a 90-degree angle in each corner, that they are perpendicular. Unlike the house that I've been working in, where the walls are not perpendicular, and
Are you
that's a
just
real.
doing you just doing walls, or you're doing a kitchen?
I'm doing a kitchen, and you know how hard it is to hang cabinets on walls that are, first of all, they're not straight.
Oh boy.
They tip back, so they
Oh
grow
boy.
at the top, and they're not 90 degrees.
Oh
I
wow.
on a 7-foot run, I'm off by 2 inches, so which means that instead of that angle being 90 degrees, it's like 95 degrees, almost 100 degrees.
Oh right.
And cabinets aren't built that way. Cabinets are built square, so to
Right.
try and hang cabinets in a corner that doesn't start out square, let's just say it's taken every single bit of experience I've had.
Wow. Hey, there's the
And
challenge.
well, oh yeah, it's been 9 weeks,
Oh
9
my
weeks
god.
of challenge, and I'm glad it's finally slowly coming to an end.
Wow. What do you guys do when the math doesn't add up? I'm right. Like you've measured,
We make
and here it is.
we make it add up.
You make it add up. You
Filler
fake us.
filler no,
Oh,
filler pieces.
filler pieces.
You can add an inch here, add an inch there, add 2
Ah,
inches here.
okay.
Now, you have to realize that those filler pieces need to be added in very specific places.
Okay.
Sometimes you can't add a filler piece depending on what's going to be next to it. So
Oh,
you really have to kind of plan it out. And because there is such an array of different sizes, it's like making a puzzle. You basically you putting a puzzle together.
okay.
That's what it is. You put
What
a
kind
puzzle
what kind
together.
of what kind of money saving advice can you give anybody out there who needs to have that kitchen done? You got it? You got
Okay.
any?
Unless you were born with a silver spoon,
Okay.
you may be able to afford better than the bottom of the line contractor grade cabinets for
Okay.
your house.
Right.
But if you are looking to flip this house, or if you're looking to put a kitchen in a rental property that you have, you go with the contractor grade cabinets because they are very inexpensive. They do the job and they look very nice for the price.
So contractor grade, foolishly, I would see contractor grade in Home Depot of other type of things, like contractor grade
Yeah,
switches or
paint,
contractor grade.
paint.
Yeah, and I would think that must be the best. I didn't
Oh
think.
no, oh
Well,
no, it's the bottom of the line.
it's the
No, no, no,
bottom of the
no.
line.
It's the cheapest stuff you can find.
But it still passes code and it still
It
gets the job
passes
done.
code, and like I tell everybody, I say, contractor grade cabinets only look well if they're installed properly, which means they all have to match across the top, right?
Right.
The top line has to match. You can't have a cabinet higher than the one next to it because it'll stand out like a sore thumb.
Ah.
The face of each cabinet where it meets the next cabinet, those must be flush. Otherwise, it's going to look like crap.
Okay.
Your doors have to be just right so they're not crooked or cockeyed. So each door has the same spacing around it. And that's all it takes. It's a matter of doing a good job with the install to get away with using contractor grade cabinets.
Okay.
And that's how I install mine. And I install mine alone by myself.
And you mostly use contractor grade stuff, unless someone's specifically asking for something different.
I have yet in 24 years to install anything less than contractor grade cabinets.
Really?
And I have clients that are, sometimes up in six figures for, a yearly
Okay.
salary.
Okay. Well, I got to tell you, here's what's weird. All right, like I was saying to before, this house, was a rental house. They cleared out the bathrooms, they cleared out the kitchen, and they just threw in what you would call contractor.
Yeah, I've
just
seen
did
your
the job done.
cabinets. Yeah. Uh-huh.
What's strange to me is that they did parquet flooring in the kitchen,
Right.
and to me, for practically the same price, they could have done tile. Why would they have picked parquet flooring?
I don't know.
Right, because it's the process of still having to put down parquet gets put down similar, except for the grouting. It gets similar done to
Right.
the way that you'd put down tile, right? You got to put
Right.
the sticky on
Exactly.
the back
Right.
and lay it down in the space.
Oh, look, all I can say is maybe tile just wasn't in the budget at the time they decided to build that house.
Okay,
And that's
Not
obviously the
build.
original.
By the way, it
that's-
wasn't a build. This was not a build. We're talking about
they built the house, Bill.
No, but no. I don't know what was here. I don't know. It's very possible that what was under this parquet floor is actually just
Subfloor?
No, it's
No.
it's wood.
No. There's
Yeah.
no way that
Yeah, it's
that
all wood.
par- wait a minute. Wait a minute. That parquet floor is over another wood floor?
Yes,
It's not over a subfloor?
I don't think so.
You know the difference?
I'm not sure.
Ah. Well, in the old days, subfloor was planks of 3/4 inch pine that were nailed together diagonally across the floor joists. So picture that.
No,
You got
see, if you go into my basement and you look up, you're going to
Yeah.
see the bottom of what I believe is. I mean, when I go
Plywood.
in my basement, I look up. Isn't that the? Oh, that's plywood, huh?
That's plywood.
Oh,
and that's
so
real plywood because oriented strand board, which is what they use now for exterior sheeting for homes and for flooring and for roofing, is made by gluing flakes of wood together that have been accumulated from milling shops,
right.
and it's glued together, and it's considerably stronger or as strong as plywood because it's mostly glue.
Oh, wow.
It's mostly resin with a bunch of pieces in it, and that is called oriented strand board, or OSB, as we
I've seen that. I know.
as we call it, and
Yeah.
OSB.
Yeah.
OSB is considerably cheaper than plywood because plywood is mostly wood.
Wood. Okay.
It's basically thin layers of wood that again is glued together. So before the invention of plywood, most or all subfloors was strips of pine about 5 inches wide, nailed diagonally
Wow.
across the floor joists. And when I say nailed, I mean nailed, not screwed. And there was no subfloor adhesive, which is why when you walk on older floors, you get creaks because it's not really glued down
that's
to the
why it
joist.
Squeaks.
That's why it squeaks. Yes. And there's a way to fix that, You you get somebody upstairs to walk across the floor, and where you hear the squeak downstairs below,
right.
you pinpoint where that is,
Right.
and you take a shim and you try and get a shim in between that floor
That's
and the
fine.
joist.
Okay.
Once you take up that space and that wood doesn't move anymore, you basically get rid of the squeak.
Oh,
The other thing to do is, if you have access to that subfloor from up above, You put some screws down. You screw through it into the joist versus the nails, because the nails move as the wood moves, and wood
So
is still a living thing, and
okay.
wood will expand and contract according to temperature and humidity, and that's what happens over time. The nails slowly start to pop up, and that subfloor becomes loose, and that's
Okay.
bad.
Okay.
All right. So you've
All
been
right.
schooled.
Yeah, and hopefully some other people listening got a little bit of an education on that.
So you
So,
want to hear? You want to hear what's in the news?
you want to do a break and come back and do the news?
No,
Okay.
no, not yet. No,
All
I
right.
don't want to take a break.
So what's in the news?
Well, I'm going to tell you as soon as I find it. I'm going to tell you what's in it. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I have to find it.
I'm still here.
Yeah, me too. Wow, what the hell happened to it? Wow, yeah, that's horrible. I can't believe it's gone. Well, I'm probably not looking in the right place.
See, I said we should have taken a break. You didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't want to listen to me.
Oh, found it. All
Oh.
right, here we go.
Oh, damn! I was hoping we could get out of this. All right. Yeah.
No.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
No, you're
Okay.
stuck here. No, you're stuck
Okay.
with me. Okay. So this is what's in the news.
Pray tell.
In a show of superior workforce skill, 2 busloads of young white males pulled up to a vineyard to show the boss and the migrant workers that they are a force to be reckoned with. Shouting, "Nobody will replace us," they proceeded to pick ripened grapes from the vines. After only 8 hours, 10 were treated for heat exhaustion, 14 walked off the job and were never seen again, 239 cigarettes were smoked, 57 selfies were sent, 49 bathroom breaks were met, and 2 bushels of grapes were harvested. In other news, the National Transportation Board has released its findings regarding Teslas that crash while on autopilot, and how many naked passengers in the backseat perish each year.
Wait. What
What?
was the second part of that? What?
Oh, I'll read it again. The National Transportation Board has released its findings regarding Teslas that crash while on autopilot, and how many naked passengers in the backseat perish each year.
So wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's actually statistics.
Yeah.
So it's happened
No,
more
I-
than
no,
once.
No,
Probably.
I made this up. No, of course not. I made it all up, Bill. Get with the program. How long you been doing this with me?
No, but you're making me think that. I
What?
never thought about that. Would be one of the reasons why people are going to have self-driving cars, so they could be in the back and they
So
can
they
be
get in
doing
the
it.
back seat. Well, what do you think?
That is really, really interesting.
In other news, Dr. Oz, Herschel
Oh.
Walker, and Kanye West have not been seen or heard from for weeks, and no one cares.
Are you sure that's not absolutely real news?
Vanna White has officially retired as letter spinner. The lips aren't working today. From the long-running Wheel of Fortune. When asked what her future plans are, she replied, "I'm going to buy some vowels and settle down." Oh yeah, and there's been some violence. During an
Oh.
open
Oh,
during an
serious.
open yeah, during an open casting call for a reboot of the popular show Whatever Happened To, a fight broke out when James Woods, John Voight, Kevin Sorbo, Scott Baio, Kid Rock, and Ted Nugent all tried to cut the line for first place.
Oh my gosh.
Drag queen Storytime has been denounced as grooming by the Little Miss America pageant. And finally, Matt Getz was arrested while trying to cross state lines with a fetus. And that's all the news for today, folks.
Oh, you can't make this stuff up.
Yes, I can.
Or you can't. Or you can.
I just did. What's the matter with you?
But what's crazy is half of that could have been real.
You never know.
Wow. What is wrong with people?
I don't know. I don't know. But thankfully, we have enough people on this planet that there is something wrong with them. It gives me ideas. So yeah, I'd have nothing to talk about if we were all normal.
Normal. No, we're not. No, not normal at all. In fact, you and I recently were talking about Vices.
Vices.
I'm not talking
And
about
not
the
that
ones that, yeah, not the one you,
and
yeah, they, in
that Uncle
Casino, he puts
Festa
his,
used to put on his head?
right, or they put
Yeah.
somebody puts somebody's head in it and they crush it in that movie
Yeah.
Casino, whatever.
Yeah.
No, not that kind of vice.
Yeah. The kind of vice
Vice Squad.
Vice Squad. Oh my goodness. So, do you have any vices, William?
Well, if you look up vices, most time there's always I guess there's always going to be a negative connotation to vices, right?
Why? Why
Well,
couldn't
that's
you
what I
have
think. That's what I agree. I think so too. It becomes like, oh well, if it's human vices are going to be pretty much negative, so
Not necessarily.
it's going to be the 7 deadly sin things.
No,
greed,
no.
envy, lust, sloth.
Not necessarily. No, that's pessimistic thinking.
I
What if
kind
you
of agree.
what if your vice is you love to go out and do volunteer work and help people? What if that's your vice?
Right. Vices can be positives. They don't have to be negative, all negative.
Of course.
Now, if they're not hurting, look, if they're positive things, that's great.
Yeah.
Right. So you can have positive vices, like you said, someone who's going out and their vice is that they got to go and help people. They can't stop doing that. Right. That's a great thing.
Right. Okay.
They help whatever. They help poor people. They help people who need medical help. They help people who need financial help. People who need I don't know, help with their
mental
house,
health help.
well, mental
Yeah.
health, pets, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if it's vices that are, I'm not going to say negative, but if there's something that could be kind of detrimental to you, or they could be hurting you, and if it's only hurting yourself, then you're only hurting yourself, right?
Right. Sure.
Like, why is it a crime? I guess you're probably gonna have an answer for this because I'm not sure where you stand on this, but
Yeah.
why was it a crime for like Robert Downey Jr. to get high and then he wasn't like dealing drugs, selling drugs. I mean, why?
Well, that's the difference.
Now, someone would argue and say, well, you know what? You're not thinking about two things. I can think just pop into my head right now. One, is the guy a role model for certain people, and then he's showing that it's okay to do drugs? I mean, that's one thing, right? Or two, what if while he's high, he gets in a car,
Go ahead.
and then he crashes into people and kills a bunch of people?
Right. That's a problem. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
right,
that's
exactly.
bad.
So, I mean,
And it could lead to that. So that's not impossible.
or he just goes walking in the street and doesn't realize what he's doing, grabs a hammer and just starts swinging at people because he's high. I mean,
Yeah.
something that he wouldn't have done if he was clear minded or if he wasn't under any influence.
Yeah.
So a negative vice, yeah, it may be only about you, but it could lead to danger or harm for other people. Agree? I mean,
Yes, I totally agree.
now, you got any vices?
I have one.
You have one vice?
That's it. Only one.
Wow. So one thing,
And
that
I don't
you-
even call
Right,
call it a vice.
right?
I-
Obsession.
No, it's not an obsession, and it's something that I can control too. That's the other thing. Sometimes vices control the person that is suffering from those vices, and that's bad.
hmm
But I've learned to control mine.
Now,
And
is there a
because
difference between vices and habits? You could
That's
have
a
good
good
habits. You could have bad habits, right?
that's a good question. I don't consider what I do a vice, nor is it a habit. It's something that I do to pass the time because I live alone currently, and there's not a lot to do where I live.
Right.
You could watch the grass grow or paint dry. That's fun. There isn't a lot to do. It passes the time. For me, it's very exciting and fun, and I'm not hurting anyone with what I do, obviously, because if I was, I wouldn't be doing it. But yeah, I like to gamble.
Oh, you like to gamble. Okay, now that's a lot of people will consider that a bad habit. It's not as bad as someone who's taking
No.
drugs or someone who's an
But
alcoholic,
but again,
cigarette
it's
smoker.
not it's not a habit and it's not bad. That's the thing.
Wait a minute.
Especially-
Wait a minute.
especially if you're me and you've won,
Well,
thousands of dollars. So I can't complain.
a lot of these things, okay, vices,
Yeah,
whether or not if we're using the correct terminology there, or
yeah,
something similar to like a habit.
yeah.
A lot of habits are addictive.
Yes.
It wouldn't be gambling issues, okay? There's Gambling
Oh my
Anonymous
God.
and all that
There's
stuff. If
yeah,
if if gambling was not one of those things that was
right.
addictive.
Exactly.
So,
But
I'm
again,
you make it
uh,
sound like there's not any negative connotation to gambling, and I kind of
not not in my situation.
not in your situation,
Because not in my situation.
because
Because I don't really make enough money to gamble on a daily basis. I'm not what's called a high roller.
okay,
I don't I don't go out of my way to visit a casino
right,
depending on what state I'm in at any given time.
right.
Um,
So you could honestly say that if you earned 5 times more than what you make right now,
I would
would you
still
gamble
gamble
5 times?
no, I would not. I would
Okay,
still gamble the same amount that I gamble now,
okay,
and we're only talking maybe 100 or $200 at a clip. Now, to some people, that's a lot of money depending on your status or what kind of job you have,
right, right,
right?
right, of
And
course.
considering I live alone, I have no children, I have no pets. I have my bills are way, way down. I don't live an extravagant life at all.
No,
In fact,
you live on a more minimalistic.
I'm a
I'm envious
minimalist,
of that.
right.
Yeah, yep,
I'm
you
a
are.
minimalist. I only have what I need. So when I'm bored and I know it's a good day to go gambling, and there are good days and bad days. You don't want to gamble on a Friday
Right,
because the machines are rigged to take all your money because everybody gets paid on a Friday and the casinos know this. And so they rake it in. The best day to go is either a Tuesday or a Wednesday. That's when the machines pay out because they think you're going to come back on Friday and give it all back.
what's the entertainment you get out of it?
Oh, the entertainment I get out of it is when I'm playing a slot and all I do is play slots,
Okay,
and I play penny slot machines.
right.
It's pennies, but it's a lot of pennies. The maximum bet sometimes on some of these machines, believe it or not, is $8.80 that
That's
you
quite a
can
bit
bet.
for a penny
That's a
machine.
lot of
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
Yes. Now the minimum, you ready? The minimum for a penny machine on that same machine is about 30 cents.
Wow.
So you'll start at 30 cents, it'll go to 60 cents, it'll go to
Right,
90, a
right,
dollar 20, a
right.
dollar 50, $2, 2.50, $3, all the way up to $8.80. The machines that I like to play usually start at about a dollar 50 a bet and go all the way up to $3 a bet. I won't play a machine that bets more than $3 a bet because you could spend $100 in 10 minutes,
Mhm.
literally. And then you're done for the day. You've had no fun and you go home, empty pockets. The idea is to play a bunch of different machines, find the ones that are seem to be paying well, find the ones that are paying off, find the ones that give you the most excitement and have a good time. If you can go to a casino with $200 in your hand and play for about 3 or 4 hours and either go home breaking even or making a little money, you're ahead, you've won. And you have to go into the casino realizing that you're going to kiss that $200 goodbye. You have to
Right,
go in
right.
thinking that. You can't ever go in thinking, "Oh, I'm going to win tonight and I'm going to go home, with $169,000 because some of these payouts are huge. I mean, they're well into the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You think it's possible to really win, really, really big? I mean, you know
Oh, they publish the stats of who has won, and the list is huge. I mean, there's names and numbers, and
Really?
some of these things are into the hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Wow,
anywhere from $1,000 to $50,000 to
wow,
$250,000. Some of these payouts on these penny machines are huge. They're very big.
wow. So
Um,
people have, in the area where you are, people have possibly won, like, a $500,000 at some of these casinos.
oh, without a doubt. Oh, there have been some big winners here, and
You don't
there,
you
there
don't I'm you don't seem like the kind of person who plays with that in mind. I was like, oh, I'm going
Oh,
because
no, oh, look,
you
it would be
wouldn't because
nice.
oh, of
It would be
course,
nice to hit, for something like that. I could probably retire, but I just go because it's fun. It's very exciting when you're sitting there and you're playing and you're betting $3 and all of a sudden
right,
you
right,
hit
right,
your machine hits for $200 and now you're up the $200 that you came to start with. And
right, right, right.
if you're smart, you do what I do. You have one pocket for the money that you're going to play with, and you have the other pocket for the money you win.
Ah, okay.
And when the one pocket that you came to play with is empty, that's when you cash out and go home.
Do you?
Otherwise,
Yeah.
otherwise you're going to stand there and play all the money you won and
And put
give
it
it
back.
all back.
Right.
The idea is to know when to go home.
Sure. Exactly.
That's the key. I mean, that's the key to gambling. You have to know when to quit.
Yeah. So you're not
Uh,
addicted to anything, huh?
uh no, I'm really not. No.
Wow.
Well, I used
So
to be addicted to speed and not the kind of drug that you take. No,
driving fast.
I've owned a lot of fast cars, and I used to love to drive fast. It was very thrilling for me, but I've gotten older now, and speeding tickets are not cheap, and
Well, let me ask you that. Okay, now it's
yeah,
funny that was the first thing you said because of speeding tickets, and maybe because of the
yeah,
cost of having a car like that. But let's just say, for
yeah,
the hell of it, I throw
yeah,
this at you because getting
yeah,
back to the gambling thing. Let's say you actually walked out of the casino and you won $1 million.
yeah.
Are you convinced that that money wouldn't change you?
No, not at all.
Okay, so now you can
I
retire,
can I, I can tell you exactly what I would
right?
do with a
Now you
million
can
dollars.
retire. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I can tell you exactly.
Go ahead. Let's say it's
I
a
would
million clear. Let's say
Okay,
it's
a
after
million
taxes.
clear.
A million
Okay,
clear.
fine. A
Right.
million clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a million clear.
I would buy a 3,000 square foot home
Okay.
with
That's not
about
crazily unreasonable. All right.
no, hell no, with about 5 acres of land around me.
Okay.
I would build a 10-car garage. Seriously, I would build a 10-car garage,
Here
and then
comes
I
the
would
speed again.
proceed. Then I would proceed to go out and find a lot of those classic cars that I love, some that I've had, some that I've wanted, but I wouldn't be extravagant. I wouldn't go out and buy Lamborghinis and Ferraris because you're just paying for a name. I
Good
would
point.
probably end up building more cars from scratch because that would be fun to actually kind of build my own. And when I say build my own, I don't have the skill to do that. I would hire people, and I would have some kind of hands-on. Um, you
Gotcha.
know,
Right.
I would be hands-on as much as I could.
Right.
But cars has always been my first love. Probably the next thing I would do is go out and buy a brand new spanking fabulous drum set because I love to play the drums. And that would pretty much be it.
Wow.
The rest would go in the bank. I might consider investing in maybe some small startup businesses that I could throw a little cash at and that would have a good
Right.
return.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm very frugal when it comes to money.
And you think that,
And
and you'd be that same way with that. Okay.
I would not change. I would also try and set up some kind of fund that was self-perpetuating that would actually just make a little bit of money and possibly start up some kind of yeah. When you give kids money for school, what is that called?
Um,
What's that word?
allowance?
No. No, no, no. When the school gives kids for money to go to school, what's that word? I can't think of it right now.
Oh, yeah, grants and
Grants, yeah.
yeah.
I would set up small grants for underprivileged kids that couldn't afford to go to college.
Oh, that's good.
Give some away, not all of it. I got to live
Yeah.
on some of it. And
Yeah. Yeah.
and Billy, $1 million doesn't go the way it used to go
No, I
40
know.
years
I
ago.
know. I know.
You
Yeah,
know,
exactly. A millionaire
it's
is
a fallacy now.
yesterday's thousandaire or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know.
A
I
millionaire
know.
doesn't go as far as it used to.
No, it's true. All right, we
So
got to come to an end for this whole segment here because we probably need a break. But you know what? I didn't get it to say what my vices or
oh,
habits
what's your
are.
advice? Well, go on.
Well, besides my masturbation and the porn thing. Other
Yeah,
than that, my no, I'm only kidding. My negative
I know.
habits
I
are
know you're kidding.
My negative habits pretty much are just me always beating myself up, mentally. I just
Yeah, I'd like to help with that if possible. I have a baseball bat I haven't used in like forever because I
great.
don't play
Take it
sports.
all out
Yeah,
on me. Okay,
yeah, sure.
that's great.
You need to stop beating yourself up. I'll tell you that right now in front of our 3 listeners. You need to stop that.
Oh, just stop it like that.
You need to stop beating yourself up. You need
It's
to
like
realize.
trying to just turn off the anxiety attacks and turn off the
Look,
stress.
I realized
I can't turn off that stuff.
I realized many years ago that you were a 14-year-old genius. Okay,
Oh, please.
I realized the day you were trying to make a movie on the driveway of the house in Brentwood, how smart you were. So yeah, you're not pulling the wool over my eyes, buddy.
All right.
So there you have it.
Okay. All right. We're going to take a break and we'll come back with one of your favorite segments to end this show.
Okay.
Right after this.
Thank you. Please wait for assistance.
This is Bill, and you're listening to Pull Yourself to Pieces, the podcast, hosted on Anchor. You never heard of Anchor? Anchor by Spotify is a podcast host platform, and it's an easy way to make a podcast. We picked Anchor because they have everything we needed all in one place. You can record and edit a podcast from your computer or even right from your phone. Then you can have your podcast distributed easily to multiple platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and much more. And did I mention it's free? That's right. Anchor is free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
It's time for Loony Laws of the Land.
Welcome back with another segment of Loony Laws of the Land. Ray's favorite segment.
Yep. Because I never know what you're going to say.
Plus, we don't really do many more segments anymore. So, of course, this is your favorite these days.
Yeah. Well, I hear we may get a visit from our sister.
Our wacko sister.
Yeah.
From Wacko. She could have been
Wacko,
from
Texas.
Wacko,
No,
Texas.
from West
West
Virginia.
Mountain Mama, take me home.
Country roads.
Road.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
we're going to Nevada. Woo!
Oh, the
Yeah.
Silver City. Yeah.
Silver City, huh?
Yeah, Silver City.
They found
Yeah,
silver
Nevada.
there?
Nevada. As in Nevada Smith, a really incredibly good movie with Steve McQueen, by the way.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh my goodness, it's classic. It has so many amazing stars. It really is an ensemble film, but it's his breakout performance, and he nails it. He's just excellent. He really is. It's
I
a
just
Western.
realized that's probably where they did Indiana Jones, Nevada Smith. It's like almost the same thing going on there.
Yeah, maybe.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
yeah. it's a
I can't think
Western.
of Nevada without thinking of, just Las Vegas and Reno. And so to me, it's kind of like, it's just gamble
Yeah.
state, the gambling state. I don't know. I just can't think of anything other than that. You wanted
Well,
to go
yeah.
to Nevada for the long. Oh, no, was it Arizona you wanted to go to?
I
Arizona.
I originally wanted to go to Arizona from New York when I escaped versus coming to Virginia.
Okay.
But at the time, my then wife didn't want to go that far, and she suggested that we go to Virginia. And so we ended up here.
Gotcha.
Here I am. But yeah, I would love to spend a week in Nevada, not so much to gamble because I don't make that kind of money. To sustain a whole week, but just to see the place, to see some shows,
Right.
to drive around, go out into the desert.
Right,
I've never been to the desert. I don't know
Vegas.
what that's like.
Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas.
Right, because nothing against Nevada, but when you kind of look at it, it looks like there's a lot of mountainy areas, and then you got like plop right
Yeah.
here's Reno, plop.
Yeah.
Here's Vegas.
Right.
And the rest
Yeah.
is just mountains. So
There's a lot to see. There's a lot to
doesn't
do in
Nevada
Nevada.
have the Grand Canyon? Or that's in California.
No, that's in I think
Arizona?
I think the Grand Canyon is in Arizona.
Okay.
I
Which
think
is the next state over anyway. So
Which
right?
is
Or
the
is it
next state
Mexico? No. Oh yeah, no, it's
No,
kind of
no.
well, it's not over. It's sort of like it's got this
Yeah.
weird little angle thing going on above it.
Yeah. Right.
Right. It's kind of it butts up against California. And then
What
Arizona
does?
is sort of below it, and then New Mexico
Yeah.
is kind of below it too. But,
Yeah,
all right. So
right.
we're going to Nevada.
We're going to Nevada. Okay.
All right, and these are going to be wacky laws that may still be on the books.
May still be on the books that you could get arrested for it if you're unlucky enough to do
or a
them.
summons, or you can get in trouble if you're
Okay.
in Reno.
Yeah.
And you lie down on the sidewalk. I'm going to say sidewalk. Yes,
Sidewalk?
it is illegal.
Are you from Brooklyn?
It is illegal to lie down on the sidewalk in Reno.
Really?
Yeah,
It's illegal to lie down on the Who are you
sidewalk.
hurting? Who are you hurting?
We're on
Are
the
you hurting the
sidewalk.
sidewalk?
Well, if people are only walking on the sidewalk,
What?
it's called a sidewalk. Sidewalk.
Yeah.
So someone shouldn't be like riding a bike or something on that thing anyway.
No, not at
Skateboard.
all.
Okay, it's a sidewalk.
Right.
So if you're gonna
Right.
lie down on there, hell, let the guy lie down.
Maybe you have a reason to lie down on the sidewalk. Maybe you're having a heart attack.
Oh God,
Maybe your shoes are too tight.
I hadn't thought.
Maybe the force of gravity on your body is like 100 times what it is on everybody else's body, and you just have to lie down. I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate here, but I got nothing else to do.
Are we on the moon or?
I don't know, Bill. You brought it up.
Okay, so there's
Yeah.
Eureka.
Eureka.
Eureka, man, Eureka. You really do.
Hey, let's not get personal, Bill.
Okay, Eureka, Nevada. It is illegal for now this can't be right. Come on.
Oh, come on, read it.
It's illegal for a man with a mustache to kiss a woman. Who's checking that? Really?
You know why?
Why? Oh, where's he kissing her? They didn't say where. He didn't say where he's kissing her.
No. No. Yeah. Illegal for a man with a mustache to kiss a woman.
Yes,
Well,
only in Eureka,
only in Eureka.
because
Wow.
he reeks of something.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So getting to Las Vegas,
Yeah.
it is against the law for you to sell your dentures. Really? Who's
Isn't
that bothering?
not for nothing, but aren't dentures basically indigenous to the mouth that they've been made for?
That's a good
I mean,
point. Right. They're
who-
not
who-
going to really
who-
fit anybody else.
Seriously.
It's not like there's like a black market for like used dentures.
Right.
It's not like this is not like kidneys, or like
Okay, so there's two wrongs here, okay?
you think?
A, why are you selling your dentures to begin with? You probably
And
need
two-
to go Monday. And two, how stupid are you to buy someone else's dentures? I
What
mean,
movie was that where he goes A, whatever, two,
And
and then he
I don't
goes,
remember.
and C.
I-
it was
I don't remember.
It was in a
but, yeah,
famous movie too. It's really
Yes.
great.
I know. But illegal
up
to
with that
sell
one.
your dentures. Wow.
Yeah.
Just,
So I guess it's pronounced Nyala, Nyala, Nyala.
yeah, Nyala.
You go with
Sounds
that?
good.
Yeah,
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 I'm good with
Nyala,
that.
Nevada. That's tough to say. Nyala, Nevada. It is forbidden against the law for a
Yeah.
man to purchase drinks from more than 3 people other than himself at any one period during the day.
To purchase more than 3 drinks other than
For
himself.
for him, it's illegal for him to purchase drinks for more than 3 people, but other than himself. So he's only allowed
Wow.
to purchase drinks for like him and 2 other people. He can't, he can't go more.
Why?
Than,
Why?
I don't know.
How come?
It,
What's the logic behind this?
3's a crowd and 4 is big trouble.
I guess nobody ever yells drinks around the house.
No, yep. There you go.
You're
in
going
trouble.
right to you're going right to
You're
jail.
going to jail. That's it. Yep.
Holy
Sorry, buddy.
mackerel.
You're right out of there.
Holy mackerel. I don't know what to say.
Okay, this one's ridiculous. Not like the other ones haven't been. In Reno, Nevada, right besides the gambling thing.
Yes. Yeah.
You're not allowed to. It's against the law to have a bench in the middle of a street. Now, what the hell would you want to put a bench in the
Oh.
middle of the street?
God almighty. Oh.
That had to be a law. Were they actually
I'm-
putting They must have been.
I-
They must have been benches in
I-
the middle of the street.
I can
But
tell
just in
you
case-
why.
You know what?
No.
Maybe the streets are really
No.
wide.
No,
Maybe
no,
they're really
no.
wide, and then
No,
you get
that's
halfway
not what it
across,
was.
and you had to
No.
sit.
That's not what it is. Think
What?
about it. I'll tell you why.
What the hell?
I'll tell you why. What town was it in?
Reno.
Okay. Reno's a gambling town, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm willing to bet quite a few decades ago, religious fanatics would stick a bench out there in the middle of the street, stand up on the bench, and proceed to give a sermon to everybody about how the evils of gambling was against God's will. And I bet these benches propped up every 10 feet or 20 feet, each one of these clowns
Stopping traffic.
trying to out yell the other, with the Bible in the hand.
Oh,
You got to
boy.
stop, God's going to, that's what it was. And
Yeah.
finally they realized the only way to get rid of these nuts is to ban the benches.
Oh, my God.
Think about it. Had to be.
Okay.
You can just see it, can't you? Some guy standing on a bench talking to the people that are there about the evils of gambling, waving that Bible, talking about
I'm
the
glad it's
fire and
probably not happening still in Nevada. Let's hope not.
oh, well, we can always hope, but
Well, let's hope this one's not happening. In Elko,
Yeah.
Nevada,
yeah.
if you must wear a mask if you walk in the street. Now, really? You might like that.
You must wear a mask if you walk in the street.
Yes. They can't.
A
they
mask. A mask to do what? Why do
I
you
don't
need to
know.
wear a mask? And does it what? Are we talking about a Richard M. Nixon mask?
I don't
Are we
know.
talking about a
I don't know if these
werewolf?
people- right? I don't know if these people are, trying pretending to be superheroes. They're doing that, that
A mask. You
cosplay
can't
dress up stuff, or they're doing.
Walk in the street. So you have to wear a mask if you walk in the street.
You have to.
Have to.
You have.
What if you're on the sidewalk?
That's right. Hey, you're not wearing a mask, buddy. Go put a mask on. No, and we're not talking
and-
about.
It doesn't say what kind of mask. It
And
just
it
says
doesn't.
the word
No, it's not
mask.
saying like COVID mask. Nope. We're talking like
Okay.
Michael
Okay.
Myers or or
Got it. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
All right, back in Reno, apparently it's against the law to spray paint shopping cart. Oh, no, wait.
I like that one. Keep that one.
It says it's illegal to hide a spray painted shopping cart in your basket. Wait,
Oh,
I'm confused.
read that again.
In Reno, it's illegal to hide a spray painted shopping cart in your basket.
Well, that makes no sense.
In your basket? You're going to fit a shopping cart in a basket? That's a big basket. Or
Yeah,
a really,
a
really
tis-
small shopping cart.
A tisket, a task.
You know, it'd be really kind of
Wow.
cool. Oh, that's
What?
the idea of a really, really small shopping cart. Imagine like you go to the store, right?
Yeah.
And like, oh no, we're all out of the regular ones, and they give you this really little small shopping cart. How
That sits
ridiculous would
about-
that be?
that
Like
sits
really
about
small.
12
I mean, really
It's
small.
about 12 inches off the ground. You have to bend down like an idiot to push it. It's got tiny wheels the size of a donut.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah, I like that.
hilarious.
That'd be great. Great sight gag. I like
want to
it.
see that.
Great sight
Yeah, we're all
gag.
out of the regular ones. You got to use the little ones.
I love it.
Oh. Okay, so apparently the whole state of Nevada, right? It's illegal to hang someone if they shoot your dog on your property. Well, that kind of,
It's
Yeah.
illegal to hang someone. If
Oh,
they
it's
shoot-
it's legal. Did I say
Oh,
illegal?
It's legal.
Oh,
You said
it's
illegal.
legal. I
It's
might have said
legal
illegal.
to
It's
hang
legal
someone
to hang someone if they shoot your
if
dog
they
on your
shoot-
property.
your dog on your property.
Now, what if this dog is biting your friggin' leg off?
Yeah.
Is it still illegal for them? Is it still
Oh, what if-
legal?
What if you shoot the dog on somebody else's property?
It's legal.
Who gets hung then? Do
You
you
shoot
hang
your
the dog? I don't know.
It's legal
Just-
if it's illegal to hang someone
It's
if they shoot
legal.
your dog. It's legal to hang
On
them.
y-
But if that dog's biting your leg, well, maybe you shouldn't be on a guy's property.
Yeah.
Don't go on anybody's property. I'm
I'd
worried
say-
about it. The dog, if it's like a rabid dog and it's running out into the street and tries to
Yeah.
get me.
I think the dog should be hung. But that's just me. What else you got?
that dog is hung like a dog. No, hung like a bull. Wait, all right. And I got one last one for you.
Oh boy.
And we've had something like this in other. I know we've had other states, so this must be some
about a
group thing.
about a bear in your car? No, startling horses.
This sounds familiar. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're right. Apparently, in Nevada, it's illegal to drive a camel on the highway. We must have had that before.
drive. Well, first of all, you don't drive a camel; you ride a camel. So right
Well,
off the
they're saying
bat, that's a
drive a
problem.
camel, so I guess yeah, ride a camel
You can't drive a camel where?
on the highway.
On the highway, but the boulevard is okay, and side streets are all right.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
No camels on
Town
the highway.
square. There's camels.
Who the
everywhere.
hell? And first of all, how do you get a camel in Nevada? I
Yeah,
didn't
who
know they
knew?
were.
Well,
I didn't know
desert's
they
not
were-
that far, so I guess wherever there's a desert, camels
You
just
think-
show up.
So you think? Oh, so
Camels must be pretty
so-
smart. Like camels,
so
just
you
like wherever
mean-
they knew. Like they're gonna just keep going. They're gonna
So-
go. And it's funny. Camels must be like, oh, there's plants and there's water. Nah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep looking for the desert.
Oh,
So they
you
just
mean like
they
you
just-
mean like everywhere there's a pond, there's a goldfish in it? That kind of like that? They just pop up,
right? They just,
right? So wherever there's
Seriously.
desert,
what is every
Yeah.
desert's gonna have camels?
you
I mean,
think
it
you
just-
think baby camels get carried there by like giant owls or
that's it?
or
That's got-
eagles? They
it's
carry
gotta be.
baby camels, and they look down and they see the desert and go, "Here's a good spot to drop this little guy."
Right.
Okay,
And on that
All right.
note, we're gonna
Yeah.
drop this show.
all right. Can I plug my book?
You can plug your book.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know by now,
I'm going to plug Ray's vocal on this. He's not going to
Easy.
know later on. I'm just going to
Oh
plug him.
no, that's
sorry.
not fair.
I'm kidding.
That's
Go
not.
ahead.
That's not.
Plug your
right.
book.
Oh man.
Book your
So
plug.
anyway,
We can book a plug.
I wrote some stories, and they're in a compilation ebook that you can buy on Amazon for download to Kindle. So if you have a Kindle, you can actually read my words. And there's 9 short stories, and they're quite good, actually, if I must say. So
There you go.
And very-
of
and
course
very
you're gonna say
affordable.
that, because
and
you
very
are
affordable.
okay.
Yeah.
Real modest,
Anyway.
aren't you?
If
All
you
right,
want to get
so-
if you want to get into my head a little bit more.
No. This is enough. 1 hour every week or
Yeah,
so for these
isn't it?
people. You really don't
Yeah.
don't torture them.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed your birthday, and
I
look
did.
forward to
Thank
the
you.
next 50 more.
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah.
35. I have 35 more.
35. You're gonna make it to 100. Okay.
I want to make it to right. The plan is to make it to 100. I want to have 100 candles on my cake. I want to blow them out and then shoot me, because then by then I'm done.
Okay.
Just put a gun to my head and just end it all. Right.
All right. Till we meet again.
But I want to.
Okay,
I
ahead.
want a piece of cake first. Before
Oh, you
we-
okay? All right.
I definitely want a piece of cake first.
Last meal.
And
All right. Got
so
it.
be good to each other out there.
That's right. Everybody, take care. Please check out our website, pullyourselftopieces.com.
That's right.
And you can subscribe to the show in Google and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Castbox, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Stitcher, and YouTube, or via RSS, so you'll never miss an episode.
And if you enjoy our show, don't forget to give us a high rating.
And remember to tell your friends about the show.
Thanks for listening to our show, and thank you to freesounds.org and Gottlieb, Audio Mirage, Plastibrain, Cognito Perceptu, FK Prod, Mirage Taser, Shadow Wisp, D-Boss, Viku Seru, Intra Environmental Sound Project, Julian Nicholas, Carmelo Mike, G Kill Hour, 140178 Sound, CMU Sound Design, Alan Mchi, Der Super Anton, Eric H2000, Bulbastray, FK Phantom, Ultra Dust, Ada Records, Stuart Colborn, DeBroid, Cubidup, GJ, Syntax Seed, Inspector J, Astounded, Madge 061785, Just Invoke, Short Record, Lorenzo Sue, and I'm Mackenzie. CreativeCommons.org/licenses/by/3.0/legal code.